it's anyways.
Well, right.
I think the leagues they fight against each other. We don't know who's who and what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
I think as a whole, United States Soccer Association, whoever that is, needs to come and say, well, MLS, this one, this one, this one. This is where you guys are at.
Right.
There is no others. If you want to be another one, fantastic, but you're not part of us. So we need to have more of a tiered program.
Sure.
And it's so tough right now because, like Madison, they're in
the, it's the NPSL, right?
Yeah, it's
right?
something like that. Yeah, but they're two.
No, they're in USL 2.
But they're 2 tiers down.
Yeah.
Right. And I look at it and I go, this is just confusing as all hell. Right. You don't know where teams are at. You don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know MLS, but after that, it's like, what are we doing?
Right.
You know.
And that's right. It's a team like Minneapolis City is NPSL, and then a team like Forward Madison is USL 2.
Yes.
But then there's USL 1, and there's USL Championship.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's
confusing.
Yeah.
And what's Duluth? Duluth is in the same league as Minneapolis City, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
It's confusing as all hell. So, from your point of the lawsuits against each other, I'm kind of thinking, what does it matter? Everybody's all screwed up anyways.
Right.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
MLS is the top. Who gives a shit if you think that USL or UPL, whatever it is,
right.
Who cares?
Yeah, and I even said on Twitter, I was like, it's petty.
It's very petty.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they have an argument, but it's petty.
It's petty.
It's just, yeah.
So, petty stuff going on and lawyers and whatever.
Which almost all legal arguments are petty.
It's annoying is what
Yeah.
it is. Let's talk about something not annoying because Tom's here.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the Minnesota Twins. We are not Gleeman the Geek, okay? Gleeman the Geek has been around for a long time. I base this podcast off of Gleeman the Geek. But they are the godfathers of podcasts. We are not, but Tom is here, so we're going to talk about the Minnesota Twins. Tom?
Yes.
It's all you, buddy. Minnesota Twins this year.
It's been just a fantastic year.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, actually. No one ever expected this.
Well, the home run situation. I mean, they could potentially break the record for home runs this year.
But if they actually pitching can hold up, they got a very strong team.
They do have a strong team. I mean,
when you look, one of their best hitters hasn't played in a week and a half.
Yeah,
and he probably could.
Nelson Cruz, yep.
Yeah.
1 through 9, this team is dangerous. Every player in their lineup is a very dangerous hitter. They hit a home run. Jorge Polanco is having a breakout season.
Yep.
Buxton has finally turned it around. Max Kepler has continued his growth. C.J. Cron came in and has been hitting the cover off the ball. Rosario, what can you say about Rosario?
Normal himself.
He's himself. Jonathan Scope had a bad year last year. He's come here and he's kind of picked it up. There's not a bad player on this 1 through 9 lineup. Their starting pitching has been great. The only problem I have with, and I've told you this numerous times, Tom, is the bullpen. And their bullpen has to hold up. They're gonna pick up some guy up or make a trade at some point.
I'm more concerned about starting than the bullpen.
I'm not concerned about starting pitching because of Barrios and Gibson and who's the other one? Pineda. Who's the guy? Who's the left-hander they got?
I'm starting today.
What's his name? Lefty they got from
Odorizzi.
Oh, Odorizzi's been great. But the left-hander they got from Texas. What's his name?
Martin Perez.
Martin Perez. What I told you about earlier in the season. Remember I told you when they picked the guy up?
Yeah.
They said they found something in his pitching style. He wasn't turning his hips enough. And they had him turn his hips now, and he has added 3 or 4 miles per hour in his fastball now. And he's gotten rid of his slider and put a cutter in.
That makes his slow pitch seem to
That's right. We haven't seen a Twins team like this ever.
After we're done here, in fact, I'm going to go watch them. It's been years since I've actually wanted. I'll sit there and watch a Twins game and doze off.
Yeah. I mean, we think about it, Tom. I mean, you've watched Twins since they were here.
Yes.
Right? And so you go back to the days of Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew, Tony Oliva, Bob Allison Harmon Killebrew hitting home runs,
yes.
right? But you've never seen a team as a whole hit as many home runs as they've had now. It's always been like one or two players hitting a lot of home runs, but this year it's been everybody has hit home runs, which is amazing.
And it's just not the fact they're not just the home runs that are just barely going over the fence. I mean, they're gone when they hit them.
Yeah.
They're 400, 450 feet.
And
every one of them.
I, of course, have been a Twins fan since the 80s. I was the 87 team, Gaetti, Herbeck, Kirby. Those guys hit home runs. But the whole team as a whole did not.
No.
Lamberdosi and Gagne did not hit a lot of home runs. Tim Laudner did. He hit 16 that year. But I look at this team and I go, everybody in the lineup, 1 through 9, can hit one out.
Everyone 1 through 9 should have 20 home runs or more.
They should, which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
And we have a new manager. We have Rocco.
Yeah.
We all thought he was going to be. You and I talked when they picked Rocco up. We were like, what kind of manager is he going to be? Is he going to be great? Is he going to be a player guy? Is he going to change things up? And I think what Rocco's done is he's been a player guy and said, you guys go out and hit the way you want to hit.
Very analytical.
Very analytical. We got Ralston, who's our hitting coach, and he's been fantastic. And he's done some things with the bullpen and everything like that.
Yeah.
He has been on point through this point of the. Yeah. I mean, we're 1/4 of the way through the season right now, and the Twins are what? Are they 6 games? Are they 9 games? I think they're 9 games up now on Cleveland. 9 games up on Cleveland at this point in the season, which is amazing. You know. So this can maybe wipe away our bad taste from all the last couple Vikings years that we've had.
And then top it all off, the Vikings win the Super Bowl.
Well, let's not go. No, let's not. Don't do that. Since you and I first met almost 20 years ago, we've been Vikings fans, right? You and I have been up. We've been down. We watched games together.
Some of us here aren't.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about Sterling as a Packer fan. But we watched games together. We've been up, we've been down. We watched the miracle, the New Orleans one that I almost died on your floor here because it was such a great play. But we can't trust the Minnesota Vikings. You know that. We watched so many games where we can't trust them.
Well, at least I got to see 4 Super Bowls.
You did, and they lost the whole.
They lost every day.
Yeah.
One of them.
The Twins are our only hope.
Oh, well, that's right.
They won 87-91. This could be their year.
Twins and the Lynx.
And the Lynx. Yeah, that's right.
They even won last night.
They did. But the Twins have been. It's funny. Last year, I think I didn't watch many Twins games because they were kind of up and down. And, of course, the Loons have come in and been my summertime thing now. But they're only once or twice a week. The Twins used to be my summertime. That was all I watched. But this year's been tough because I got Loons. I got Twins who are just red hot. It's going to be – there's potential to be a great summer in Minnesota for soccer and baseball. And it's going to be tough to go back and forth between the two. I mean, it's,
could be a greater fall.
It could be, yeah. We could have Loons in the playoffs, Twins in the playoffs. We could be.
Oh, you waiting for a hockey start?
Oh God!
He doesn't even have a hockey team in Wisconsin. Come on.
And the Wild aren't worth cheering for. So.
No, they're not. Yeah. He does have the Bucks though.
That's true.
Come on. This is ridiculous. Johnny keeps texting. Andrewski, if you're going to listen to this podcast in about a day or two, don't text during the podcast. Jiminy Christmas. If you want to be on the podcast, then be on the podcast.
Right here.
And be here.
Right.
You know, how many podcasts ago? It was Christmas time. I got to be on the podcast more.
And we said, okay.
And we said, come on. Do it.
He hasn't been on since.
Haven't seen you since, buddy. Haven't seen you since.
Now I even feel good I got my few cents in.
There you go. So, we got Twins talk here.
Yes.
Again, not going to take away from Gleeman the Geek because they are the kings of Twins talk. We are the soccer guys. We're not the Twins guys.
Right.
I could be a Twins guy, but I choose not to be. We chose to go into soccer, which didn't have much going on.
And I wouldn't have been useless.
You would have sucked at Twins talk. It was a bad deal.
Right.
And now we can go to soccer where you're great and I'm a fan, and that's that. It's fine. So before we get out of here, I know we've talked about zombies the last 3 podcasts now, but I have to talk about it once more. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because it happened in Chicago when we were there. They have zombie raccoons in Chicago. They're called zombie raccoons because they have some sort of disease that makes them stand on their hind legs and put their arms up like this and walk towards people. In Chicago.
Interesting.
In Chicago.
Right.
And if it was like in Omaha, I wouldn't have talked about it. But we were there. We were just in Chicago talking about zombies, and they have zombie raccoons.
It's odd. Which actually, you go back 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And we talk about, or was that last episode? When we talked about the animals not being able to become zombies.
That was 2. That was Thunderwall guys. They were saying
that?
they were saying that animals could not become zombies.
So now we know
that they
can.
can't.
To CNN,
that they can't.
That they can.
Exactly right. We don't know if they're taking the L, though. I don't think they're on the L yet. What you talked about last podcast.
If they're walking on their hind legs, they're only a step away.
They could just go up there and put a ticket in, and they could be good to go. I'm telling you.
They have opposable
thumbs. They do. I see them around.
They can do everything.
They can do anything. But the only reason I brought it up is because it was in Chicago. We were there 2 weeks ago.
Don't forget about your quarterback.
Yeah, no more zombie talk. Sterling's got an announcement. I'm sure you guys have already heard. Sterling is a big Packer fan, so there was a big death today.
Yeah.
Here are the Packers. 3rd down, inches to go. To Bader. 17-14. Cowboys out in front. Packers trying for the go-ahead score. Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback taken. He's in for the touchdown, and the Packers are out in front. 20-17. There's 13 seconds showing on the clock, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions, NFL champions for the 3rd straight year.
You know, it's unfortunate that Bart Starr passed away today, 85. 16 seasons with the Green Bay Packers. MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls.
Yes.
Obviously, incredible career considering that no one cared about quarterbacks back then.
At that point, yes.
So it's pretty incredible. Obviously, I didn't get to see him play.
No, but Tom did.
Yes.
Not in person, but on TV, right, Tom?
Many times.
Yeah. And Bart Starr was a very good quarterback, was he not?
Very, very good quarterback.
Of course, not as good as Fran Tarkington.
Well, those are potentially fighting words.
That's debatable.
I'm kidding.
That's debatable.
But I heard a lot about my dad. Obviously, got to watch him play, and he's obviously always been very active in Green Bay. And
he stuck around. He stuck around Green Bay.
Yeah, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers were both very good friends of him. So it's always been interesting to kind of see him and know that he's a part of the organization. And it's going to be, it's not necessarily sad for me,
because you're not going to see him really.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be sad for a lot of Packer fans who got to experience him.
But the history of the NFL, those 2 Super Bowls, Bart Starr was a big part of that.
Right.
And he best quarterback in the beginning of the Super Bowl era.
Right.
That's that deal.
The biggest funeral this city's ever going to have is when Sid Hartman passes away.
Let's not talk about Sid Hartman. Jeez.
Is that ever going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think so.
But I look
the
at
guy's like he's invincible.
Yeah.
He's like one of them zombie.
he is. He might be a zombie actually. But